What's happening, everyone? I hope you are doing well. Welcome back to yet another client interview. Today, I'm joined by one of our amazing clients, Ramy, who I'm super happy to have on here because it's long overdue, but we finally got here. And yeah, Ramy has absolutely smashed it with our program, and he is what I like to label as a bit of a silent shark because he it's not like he updated us with his results along the way. He just put his head down, he carried on working, and then I only found out towards the end of his tenure with us that he's done really well with the program. So, yeah, Ramy, over to you, man. I obviously know who you are, but for people who are watching, why don't you introduce again who you are, who you serve, and the transformation you deliver to your clients, bro?
Amazing, man. So my name is Ramy, of course, and I'm a bit of a silent one inside of the community. Uh, yeah, back then we were doing a lot of web design. We were helping B2B businesses. So before I started in the program with you guys, we are doing around 10K a month in revenue, and it was just all based on organic leads, right? So
hmm
we had a lot of organic leads coming in, just yeah, through Google and through our website directly, but we didn't have systems, right? We didn't have the data or anything like that. So until we joined and hopped on your guys' program, we just installed those systems. We scaled the business up, and yeah, back now we are at 50K or something like monthly. So yeah,
Yeah, amazing. So Ramy's practically 5x the business in a year. It's funny, we were just speaking before this. It's literally been a year this month since he's joined, which is fantastic stuff. So yeah, absolutely love it, Ramy. And for the people watching this right now, I know you mentioned like, you're already at 10K per month, which is, a solid base to start, but you mentioned how you didn't really have any data systems or anything like that. Why don't you go into a bit more detail about how the business looked back then in terms of what you were doing to get to the point that you were at that point.
so what we were doing back then, sure.
Yep.
Yeah, so back then we were mainly focused on, yeah, we were just doing, we had our own website, right? And we had a bit of SEO, so people could search like create your website in the Netherlands, right? They could
hmm
find us, and then they just hopped into one of our lead magnets or just contacted us directly. That's how we actually gain our leads. And we had a lot of mouth to mouth marketing, right?
Yep.
So because yeah, we did great work. So people would recommend us to others, and that's how we just did business. And it was a nice business. It was fun, but you cannot really call it a business yet because it isn't based on systems. And if you have a
hmm
business but you don't have real systems, you just have a hobby. That's what we like to say. So
Yep.
yeah, that's where we just needed to scale with systems, man. I just knew it, and I came across you guys, and I just thought, okay, let's just do it.
Yep.
That's what how it happens, man. Yeah.
Amazing. Would you say that that was one of the biggest problems you had, where it was just purely reliant on word of mouth, where you had no predictability in place, essentially?
That's exactly it. Exactly. Yeah.
Perfect. Perfect. Sweet. That's good to know, man. And
We never really did outbound.
yeah.
We knew of it, right? But we never actually acted upon it. It was just inbound marketing, some referrals, just
Yeah.
business just came flying to us.
Just when it came. Yeah. And that's really funny, man, because even without a sense of predictability and without you reaching someone, you were able to get to 10K a month. And
Yeah,
I think I'm assuming it may have been slightly comfortable, but at the same time it's painful, right? Where it's like, okay, where's the next dollar coming from?
exactly. So you don't feel a grip of the business, right? You don't have
Yeah.
that feeling of safety of security, right? Because you don't really know if it's coming. You kind of think like
hmm
next month maybe we will hit a 10K or something, but you weren't actually right. And sometimes we even had a little dip, right? Sometimes
Yeah.
down to 5K. You have like seasonal peaks and lows, and so you have to deal with that, and it can be pretty stressful, right? So that's what brought in the pain, because we wanted different, we wanted something else, we wanted scalability,
Yeah.
predictability, so we could actually invest more into the business. Because if you can invest more in the business will scale and grow even more. So
Yeah.
our mindset was
100%, man.
right, but we just needed the right systems, man. So
Yeah. Love it, man. There we go. How did you come across the program to begin with?
great question. I think I saw a couple videos pop up somewhere. I think
Sweet.
on YouTube. Yeah, on YouTube, man. I think I watched a couple videos of Charlie where
Mm-hmm.
he explained some business fundamentals, and I even watched Sam Ovens back in the days. He was also
Yeah,
a
yeah.
guy, and I think
Shout out to Sam.
Charlie has also he's a bit
Yeah,
biased
yeah.
as well.
He
So
even admits that. Yeah, yeah,
yeah, so I love that, man. So I was deep into that yeah, into the foundations, right? So
yeah,
I like business principles, and if
yeah,
people teach first principles like Charlie does, you cannot be wrong, because yeah, it's hard to argue with first principles and
yeah,
laws of nature and laws of business, right? So that's
yeah.
what really yeah, got me to like the program.
Yeah, love it, man. So, Rami, in terms of, your position, you're obviously coming from a place of, right, I've got this business which is doing relatively well, 10K a month, but there's no predictability, no systems. I don't know where the next dollar is coming from. Even though it may look good on paper, there's always that, gray cloud of whether it's going to be sunny or whether it's going to rain. So you enter the program with a lack of predictability. Talk to me about how you approached things and, how you went through the content to completely transform your business, bro.
So like step one that the first step.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so the first step, we watched like the first module of you guys, like you went deep into the offer creation, like the niche that you have to select, the right niche, and how you will make a great offer for that niche. So that's
Hmm.
very important to do is at first. And you really have to get your offer down, because it's like 80% of all the results that you will
Yeah.
get after that. So you can just immediately go to the systems, you can focus on that, but it wouldn't make sense if you don't have a great offer, right? Because it leverages everything you do on the outside and the marketing as well. So we first started there. Then it took us a couple months actually to really get going first, because we had to change and shift our whole business, man, our whole market
Hmm.
offer. So it's not something you do in an instant. At least for us, we needed some time to think about
Yeah.
it. But after we did that and we made the change, things just started happening, man. The first sale that was coming in quite quickly after we did it. So yeah, that's what we did. Then we started with the LinkedIn outbound system, like the DM sourcery that you guys teach. It's amazing, man. It works. It's very good. And
Yeah.
yeah.
Love it, man. Amazing stuff. So when you said you had to like completely change the business, talk to me a bit more about that, how the business looked, you know, how the
Yeah,
structure was before compared to what you had to do. Because I'm assuming you had to revamp the offer, positioning, and all that good stuff, man.
exactly. Because back then we were doing a lot of done for you, and it
Yeah.
was very good. The results were amazing, but it was very time consuming. So we were thinking about more scalable models um, that made us do the same thing but delivered
Yeah.
it a different way, right? So the same results, very good, but not that it isn't is based upon us too
Hmm.
much, because then we couldn't scale, and that was a problem that we had with the agency as well. So that's why we shifted to done with you. So we actually teach clients one on one how to get the results themselves. So it's way
Nice.
more scalable and predictable for them.
Yeah. Love it, man. In terms of your, what do you call it? Your offer, because you spoke about how big, how important of a factor it is, and it truly is, right? Because it sets you up for the rest of the program. How did your offer look before compared to like how it looks now after going through that training, man?
Yeah, before we did just done for your marketing. We had some retainers. We did websites. We were like a creative agency, right?
All in one.
Yeah, we did a lot of
Yep.
some logo design sometimes, some branding, and it was all very nice and creative and beautiful. But we didn't have an offer that would guarantee clients results, and that's very important to have, and that's actually a very strong lever to pull on your offer, because the client can just tangibly see what he will get after working with you. So that's when we added a real predictable result. We were looking, okay, what do our clients actually need? What do they actually want? What is important to them? And then just double down on that. And that's what we
Yeah.
did. So now
Love
we're
it.
more based upon lead generation, and that's how we help them with. We help them with our own problem. Like we were, we had the problem of uh, only having mouth to mouth and referral marketing inside of the business, and we wanted to
Hmm.
get away from that. And that's actually what we also help our clients with, to
Yeah.
install the right systems.
Beautiful stuff, man. Amazing. And you mentioned how you were getting appointments. It was through DM Sorcery, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. Talk to me a bit more about that, man. How did you find it? How many appointments were you booking on average? All that good stuff.
Yeah, it's insane, man, what it does. And we didn't even scale it to the maximum that you can scale it to yet. Just with a small team, we were doing like 40, 50 appointments in just a couple weeks. And when we saw,
Nice.
yeah, 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 it's crazy.
Yeah, and that's without scaling it to the max. You said that's like the minimum.
Yeah, 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 you can scale it, man. If you put in some more effort and you want to actually scale it more, it is possible, definitely.
Cool, perfect. Outside of the DM Sorcery, were there any other strategies you used to book appointments, or was that the only one you needed for the business?
Yeah, me myself, I did some content as well on LinkedIn. That's also
Mm.
very powerful. I like to post some value as well, inspire others, motivate others, post
Yep.
valuable stuff they can implement in their business. So that's what I always did, and I'm still doing, and it also brings in some inbounds as well. But I think it also makes the outbound stronger. So the DM source tree with the
Yeah,
it's crazy.
for sure. Yeah, that's a great point you raised because I think one thing to note, whenever you do outbound, you need to look at it from the perspective of the other individual, where it's like, okay, you send someone a message, what's the first thing you're going to do? Yes, you'll read it, but you're going to click on the profile to see what the person has. So what a lot of people do as a mistake is they'll just have an empty profile with nothing, and then the way they're going to reply to you is going to be a bit different compared to if they click your profile and then they see, like you, for example, Rami, content, tips, advice, and whatnot. It's like it's a completely different reaction. So, yeah, that's a great point you raised there, man, which is fantastic. Um, one thing I wanted to touch on, I know at the start you said when you were running the agency before the program, there was no data, no predictability or anything. Obviously, you've now been with us for over a year, and I'm sure you know how much we obsess over data, metrics, and all that good stuff. Talk to me how your business has changed in terms of what you now track compared to before, basically.
We almost track everything, man. Yeah, it's insane because before we didn't track anything. We just saw the cash flow at the end of the month, but that was it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the only thing, right? But now back right now we track everything, man. Just how many appointments are being done. The sales is also a very important part, like how many sales calls are being held, how much of those are being closed, what is the conversion of that. It's very important to track because otherwise you will make adjustments and adapt on stuff you don't have data on, and
Yeah.
yeah, it's just a stupid decision actually if you do that.
Yeah, 100%. And you, in terms of your mindset now, Rami, how does it feel now that you're tracking everything basically compared to how it felt when you weren't tracking anything? I'm assuming there's an element of power and control and peace.
Yeah, yeah, you can just it is actually fun as well because you can
Yep.
try and experiment with things. You can just find your peace inside of the data because business is always unpredictable, right? So everyone has that for, but if you have data, it makes it more tangible. It makes it more predictable, more secure for yourself. So it's a great addition to your life. If you don't have data yet, start doing it right now, I would say. So yeah, it's very powerful, man. What we do,
Yeah.
we track everything, every number that is important and crucial to the business. So
Yeah.
you can see if if it's working and if it's not. And if it's not, then you also feel safe because you can make some adjustments, improvements.
Yeah.
So it's working.
Yeah, what you said there about you only used to rely on cash flow.
Yeah,
It's so easy to just look at the revenue number and be like, yes, we're good. But actually, without tracking your metrics, you don't know if you can do even better, or you don't even know that. You don't know whether you're actually not doing, you're doing bad, basically, depending on how much volume you're putting out there and whatnot. And one other thing to note is, and you can probably attest to this, Rami, when a problem does occur in your business, right? You're no longer panicking, you're no longer frustrating. I'm assuming you just look at the metrics and you sort of gamify things where it's like, oh, great, what do we do now? What levers do we pull?
exactly. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
it is actually more fun to play business than 'cause even with games, right? I don't know if you played RuneScape back
Yeah,
then.
yeah, yeah,
I think everyone did, but
yeah.
you
Old
have
school.
like your stats, right? Your levels. You can see your strength, your attack, your defense, and it's fun to see your stats, your current stats, and then it makes it also fun to grow those, right? You can see it at your stats and see, okay, I really want to grow into this character or this business, and that's the same with business. If you have a target, you will hit it. It will give you confidence to hit the next one. And you can set new targets, and it will make it fun to get there. So it's more fun to
Yeah,
like that.
love it, man. Great stuff. Rami, what does your team structure look like in terms of like team members? I know we already touched on the systems you've got set up, but yeah, if you can give me an overview of who's involved in your team and what it looks like now compared to before you joined, that'd be great, man.
Yeah. So we have a very slim team right now. We
Yeah,
scaled down a little bit, so we kept it really lean. It's me and my business partner, and we have
nice.
some appointment setters as well for the systems that we run.
Hmm.
And we have a community manager as well, somebody that helps in with our clients, stuff like that. We have a
Yeah,
bookkeeper for the finance,
standard. Yeah,
and that's basically it. It's very slim. Yeah.
yeah, love it, man. And then how many clients do you typically service on average
It's around six new clients each month.
each month? Yeah, nice. Super, super nice, man. Killing it. So it's just nice and lean compared to like a big operation.
Yeah, it's nice and lean, man. That's what I like.
Yeah, yeah, no, 100%, man, 100%. So with everything being like based on systems and whatnot, would you say on your end as the founder, it's quite easy to manage, or do you still have to get like heavily involved, handcuffed to the business? What would you say from your perspective, man?
Great question, bro. And I love to answer this because life really did change in a way. Like it feels normal right now. But if you look back, I was like in hustling mode back then. And it
Mm,
was amazing as well because hustling isn't a bad thing. But there needs to be a change somewhere. You don't need to be hustling all year in your whole life, right?
yeah,
Has to come a point where you change things up and you go into another level, and that shift did happen. We are not in hustling mode right now. We do
beautiful.
hustle, we work a lot, but it's more, you have more room to breathe, right? It's not that like doing everything yourself. You know what to to give to other people, to delegate, and you just have your main tasks that are like the most important, that have the most leverage, and you focus on that. So
Yeah. Great way of putting it, man. It's the business space, it's kind of interesting where it's like your first like 10K a month, 20K a month even. It's just straight up grind, hustle, put your head down, work as hard as you can. But then you need to evolve where it's like, right, it's not just about the hours you put in, but how smart you're being with your hours and how efficient you're being. And it's kind of like from what it sounds like on your end, Rami, you're slowly transitioning away from putting in those crazy hours, which you can easily put in, but now you're thinking, right, who can I recruit? Who can I delegate this to move the needle forward without having to work as much, basically.
yeah, perfectly said. Amazing, man. But that's just it.
Yeah, love it, man. Yeah, I've spoken to quite a lot of you guys who are in the similar boat. So no, it's beautiful to see, man. So I'm super happy you're not in the stuck in the weeds as much. So Rami, obviously, as you know, the program contains God knows how many videos. I'm lo I'm losing count at this point myself. And it
That's the
obviously
problem I
can.
have, man. I think that's the only problem I have with the program. It's a very good program, but it has so much, like you cannot finish it.
Yeah, that's it. That's the one bad thing. I know people are watching like, oh my God, what? That's the only bad thing. But no, I can assure you, and I'll even say like, I'll even be completely honest and critique the program myself. It can be overwhelming, guys, to people watching. Like, there's a lot to take in, and it's just a matter of, and
Yeah,
Rami, you can attest to this.
yeah,
Get in the program, take what you need, and then consume the videos that are relevant to your problems over time.
exactly. Yeah, you
Yeah.
shouldn't do everything at once. Just focus on the
No.
little. That's the key. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly that, man. So, Rami, like we just said there, you got tons of videos, but we also have like group support and the coaching calls. How valuable have you found them? Because obviously, videos alone are great, but when you get support to go alongside that, especially that can be tailored to your situation, right? How helpful has that been in your growth, man?
Yeah, it's perfect that you guys have that as an yeah, as an addition to the videos, because with videos it's very good, but you still have to do it yourself, obviously. But then
Mm-hmm.
you come across challenges. Yeah, who's there to help? not the videos, because they
Yeah.
cannot do more than that, right? So,
Yeah.
and it's very, very effective to just go into coaching calls and just explain the situation that you have, explain the issue that you have, and you can get instant feedback. That's amazing.
Yeah, love it, man. And which coaching calls did you find the most like relevant to you? Because obviously on our end, as you know, we got service delivery calls, general Q&As. I had an operations call which no one buddy joined for a short while. So,
Hey, I
so
joined that. I joined that.
oh, fair enough, bro. Fair enough. Sorry. There we
Don't
go.
recognize me.
Sorry, Rami, man. It's been I speak with so many people on a daily basis. That's funny because I said just before the recording, yeah, first time catching up. But no,
Yeah.
Rami, before we digress, talk to me, bro. Which calls were most relevant for you during the year?
Yeah, for me it was, I think the calls with William, they were very effective. I
So
think
wait, yep,
yeah, with William Selway, he had very good calls for the DM sorcery system and each other system as well. Like, so for lead gen, it's very effective, and that's where we were focusing on the most. I
yeah,
did attend some sales calls as well, like
nice,
role playing. It's very effective as well. It's nice to sharpen some edge of you. It's always
yeah,
to sharpen the sword, right? I think that's the saying in English.
yeah, yeah. Sharpen the axe. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
sharpen the
yeah.
axe. That's
There
what
we go.
sword. Huh?
Sharpen the sword sounds better, so we
Yeah,
can stick with that.
sounds great, man. I will make my own thing of it.
That's it.
But I didn't need a lot of sales
Yeah,
skills, but I liked it that it was available to me. So a couple times I did join it. It was fun. It was actually fun and it's good to do in some time. But for me, the most important thing was the calls with William Selway. Yeah,
yeah. I love it, man. And yeah, fair play to you, Rami, because like you asked questions in the group, you actually joined the calls, and now you have the success that you actually do, and you basically use the program how it was supposed to be used, and there's no surprise that you got the results you got.
100%. That's it.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like if you buy a tool but you don't use it, yeah, then you don't get the benefits of the tool. It's the same with the
yep,
program. You can buy a program or buy a coach, even a personal coach, or for the
yep.
gym. But if you don't go to the gym, you won't get the results, right?
Oh,
You still have to
that's
get
it.
going. And it's the same with this program. Once you get going and you have that spirit in you and that energy, you can make everything out of it.
Yeah,
Even this, you guys have to know one thing that's very important, because I see a lot of beginners stepping inside of programs, but even a professional can make professional gains of a bad program. So even when you join a bad program,
mm,
you have a great problem. Let's not discuss that. But let's say you join a bad program, but you yourself are a professional, you're an A player. You will just make the best out of it and get very great results. Now let's say you join a great program and are a great player. That's just
it's
insane.
game over.
And it's
Yeah.
game over.
That
So
is
understand this.
that that's a killer point, bro. That's and it's funny because I was just about to touch on mindset with you to speak about like your personal shift, but yeah, what you just said there is bang on because, like you just said, the professionals across all avenues they'll make something happen regardless of what's in front of them. A great footballer if they're in a bad team, you can see they're a great footballer. There's loads of examples of players that I've seen in football, and to my American friends, if you call it soccer, please stop. But I'll allow it for this time round. But no, so many great players, right? And even in F1, I'm watching a lot of F1 recently. Lots of great drivers that are making stuff happen without the best cars around them. But what Rami said there is so true. Where if you're someone watching this right now, take accountability. Look inwards. Where even if you join a program it may not necessarily be the best, you can still make something happen. And then, like Rami said, if you did join a great program, whether it's ours to sound shameless or whether it's another great program, like if you're like Rami, for example, you can truly achieve some amazing results. So yeah, Rami, appreciate you sharing that point, man. That's a great point.
Yeah. Yeah, I want everyone to know that, because it's very important as
Yeah,
well. If you just have
100%.
that mindset on, and everything will happen for you.
Yeah, 100%, man. Let's touch on mindset for you, man. So talk to me because I know your mindset was already dialed in before you even joined the program because you just needed the systems, right? But
Yeah.
like it's been almost a year now. How does version one of you that joined the program look compared to the version that I'm speaking to right now? Were there any limiting beliefs that you had? Did you have to make any identity shifts? Like, talk to me if anything changed, man.
Definitely, man. So things
Hmm.
that really changed, like where was really based on like how you run the business in a good operating way. Like you have to outsource, you have to step out of it a little bit. You don't have to do everything yourself. You need to have your data right, is very important, your numbers. The offer was very important. The sales, I think, was also very nice. That you guys had a very good framework of handling sales. You have a very great script. Even getting paid, getting clients to pay on the first call. It was a very big switch for me.
Yeah.
Like we never did that. We always send out
Hmm.
invoice first, and after the call, the clients could pay. It's a bit like we do in the Dutch way, but
Yep.
you guys just teach, just get the payment on the first call. And I think that was very interesting, because I was like, does that even work in my country, right? We are dealing with Dutch people. Do they also
Yeah.
think that? So it was a bit of a culture shift, but also for
Yeah.
me, I just tried it, I did it, and then everything started changing, man. I was like, okay, this validates the point, it works. And then I didn't even look back one time.
Yeah. Yeah.
The standard, the new default, right? So it was a big shift for me.
Yeah, love it, man. Which I'm assuming that's the biggest shift where it's like, right, entering the program with one way of selling in mind, then completely
Exactly,
b breaking that and realizing, oh, you can take money on the first call and you can actually close a lot more clients as a result.
exactly that. Yeah, one
Yeah,
of the biggest shifts as well.
perfect, man. Amazing. Rami, what would you say? Obviously, we've 5x the business in a year, so 10K to 50K a month. What would you say your next goal is, man?
Easy goal, man. We are going for the six figures a month, so it's 100K a month.
Boom. There we go. I'm gonna note that down. And then to those watching this, I want everyone to mark this as a part one. So hopefully if Rami's still got time for me when he's when he's a lot more busier, we can do a part two, man. So yeah,
Do I
killer
make
stuff.
time, my brother?
Yeah, yeah, that's it. That's it. So Rami, one thing I wanted to ask before we sort of round up the interview and the final few questions. 1 year ago, you would have had your sales call. Do you remember who closed you by any chance?
I remember the face, but the name was a very charismatic guy. I think you know.
Charismatic guy.
Do you remember?
Uh, Vince, yeah, Vince
Vince.
closed you.
Yeah, Vince.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Sweet. Yeah, shout out to Vince. So
Shout
one
out.
year ago, man, you would have had a call with Vince. You would have joined. You're coming from a place of unpredictability. The business is doing okay with at 10K a month, but you don't know, if you can be repeated and all that good stuff. And one of the questions Vince would have asked you is, "Hey, Rami, what do you want to achieve in 12 months?" And then he would have given the classic sales question of, "How would it feel if you were to hit this goal?" So fast forward 12 months later, you've obviously gone from 10K a month, unpredictability, up and down, to now you're running a 50K a month business, lean and mean, highly predictable, and you haven't even gotten started yet in the sense that there's so much more to achieve. Talk to me, man. How does it feel to be in the position now, 12 months later?
Yeah, this is a good question, and it deserves a good answer, because the way I feel it, it's like the same, but on a different level,
Ah,
different
yeah,
way, right? It's like you have a new gap, you have a new goal, so you feel like I'm in a position that I need to grow more, right? Because
yeah,
for me, this is my new default. It's my new bottom line. We cannot perform under this. It's just this, and now we need to go up. So, but I feel great, man. Honestly, I know where I came from and the steps that we took to get here. So, but yeah, your mind adapts quickly. It it's like recalibrating everything, right? So, for me, the feeling as entrepreneurs, it really isn't an important thing for us. We just want to get growing, keep going,
yeah, for sure, bro.
go further. So that's
Yeah, love it. I always like asking that question, man, because like I'm always looking for the guys that say, yeah, man, I'm done. I'm in the beach. I've got the Ferraris or anything
oh,
like that.
we will never be on the beach.
Yeah, fair, fair, man. That's always a fun one to ask. But no, seriously, Ravi, that's amazing to hear, man. And yeah, it's great to hear that you're still sort of more or less the same guy, but in a better position where you're now comfortable, but you're not letting that comfort, stabilize you. You're still hungry. You're still working for the next goal, basically.
100%. And that's what makes it fun, right? Even when you're
Yeah.
playing games, if you reached one level and you played the whole game, it's not fun anymore. You need to set new targets, new goals, and it's the same with life. If you look
Yeah.
at it that way, it is fun. So
Yeah.
this we love playing this, man. It's entrepreneurship. Set new goals, set new targets, do everything you can to achieve
Yeah.
it. Makes it interesting.
Yeah, there we go, bro. Love it. So yeah, Rami, as we round off this interview, two groups of people will typically watch this. The first of which are current clients who are already in the program. The second of which are people that have yet to join the program. Maybe they had a sales call and they want to think about it. They're on the fence, or maybe they're just doing their due diligence and they're watching the interviews to gain some trust and information, which is perfectly fine. So for the people that are already in the program. What would you say to them in terms of the best advice you can give for them to succeed?
Yeah, what I can say to the people inside the program, I think they to make it the best program ever, just know set your targets and then just do the stuff that needs to get done. You have the coaching calls, you have everything you need, all the information, all the systems that you need. So just make it happen. This is the only thing I can say, man. You have gold inside of your hands, and if
Yeah.
you manifest it, it's up to you. That's it.
Yeah, love it, man. And to people that have yet to join the program, almost as if you're speaking to yourself, right? Before you found us, before you joined, what would you say to those people based on your experience working with us?
It's a very heavy hitter, so if you are not ready for it, I shouldn't do it.
Yeah.
It is a good thing. It will hit you hard. And if you're
Yeah.
ready for uncomfortable stages and for real growth and you want to do it seriously, it's a no-brainer. Very
Yeah. Love it. We'll hit you hard, but we'll pick you up and we'll get you to the next stage. It's kind of like what we done with Rami. Now he's 5x his business. So yeah, there we go.
That's it, man. But if you want to grow, you need some muscle pain, right? Even in the gym, you need
Yeah.
to break those muscles in order for them to rebuild themselves into something different,
Yeah.
right? And it's the same with this, man. You need to break your mindset, and it will rebuild itself in a great way, and it will actually
Yeah.
help you get the life you deserve.
Yeah, and really happy you said that, Rami, because to people watching this, Rami's basically a great example of that because he was fixed in his mind where he had to sell a certain way. He broke that limiting belief in his business, and I'm assuming that wasn't easy, Rami, to go from a two call close to a one call close, because you would change your entire process. And on top of that, as Rami said there, he had to, or as he said before, he had to spend months to shift his entire offer and positioning. Um, Again, that's not easy. It's painful, but like you just said there, Rami, it's the growing pains, right, to get to where you are now.
Yeah, it's amazing. And you don't have to look anywhere else as well. Because if you bought this program, you don't have to Google stuff anymore. You don't have to go to the internet as much because you have everything inside of the program. So if you have a cluttered mind where you're just looking for shiny objects and you have that syndrome, oh, this is good, this is good, that strategy is amazing. You can implement everything. But if you have a program that just step by step teaches you what to do in a certain way, it's easier for you to focus on. So it also helps
Yeah.
with that.
Yeah, there we go, man. Well, you've heard it from the main man here. So, like I said, keep this marked as part one. We'll see where Rami is when he scales to 100K a month. And like I said, hopefully he should have some time for me. So I'll stay on him in that regard. And yeah, hopefully you guys found this valuable. Rami, I'm now going to do my famous outro. By this point, people watching are probably clicking off the video because they're sick of hearing it. But if you are someone that has come across our industry, not just our program, but the online world in general, and you've seen these, Twitter posts and advertisements of people wearing Rolexes and floral shirts and sunglasses and, linen trousers and, driving Ferraris, Lamborghinis, sitting on the beach and telling you that you can be successful in 2 hours a day or like 4 hours a week and you can have all the millions you want without working. I'm here to tell you that unfortunately our program can't give you that, at least not in 4 hours a week. So if you want to get rich quick scheme, this program is not for you. I can't promise you Lamborghinis overnight, Rolexes overnight. I wish I could. If you do come across a get rich quick scheme, please send it my way. I'm being deadly serious. I've said that across like 70 interviews now. Find me, email me, message me. I'm on Facebook. If you find a get rich quick scheme, send it my way. But if you are someone that is willing to put in the work, willing to follow a proven process, and willing to, do exactly what Rami done here, ask questions in the group, take on feedback, join coaching calls, and even, as he said, sharpen his axe or sharpen his sword in the sales regard to continuously improve, and you're willing to follow a proven roadmap to succeed, then we can probably help out. Okay, so feel free to book a call with us to see how we can help and to see if it makes sense for you. If you're thinking about joining, this is the 105th interview that we've done. If you need some further information, feel free to check out the other 104 interviews that we've done. I think I've personally done about 70 or 80, so you're probably sick of hearing from me. So try and look at the ones that Charlie done or some of our other team members. But yeah, bottom line is if you're willing to work and you're willing to follow a proven framework, we can help out. So book a call with us. But yeah, pretty much it for the interview, guys. Hopefully you found this one valuable, and I'll catch you at the next one. Cheers, guys. Bye.